Well, I'm Julio Lugon. I have this project called Dear Myxomycete, and it's about slime mold and sound and composition, sound composition. I would like to the background of this project is coming from a project in 2019 called Elephant Meditation. I presented in Bonn, Germany, which was using the idea of slime molds as this entity, intelligent entity. And so I was cultivating this in the studio, kind of like a laboratory. And then I didn't use the slime mold per se in the installation, but it was more metaphorically or symbolic collaboration where I developed these inflatables, yellow inflatables, would inflate and deflate in the never-ending loop. And in the first floor, you have a kind of like a laboratory with these exciters in metal sheets, were reproducing the inflation and deflation of the of this polycephalum, many-headed entity, you know. So it was kind of like using this idea of an abandoned laboratory, which this organism has become its own feedback loop, you know. And well, then coming back to today's project. Well, in 2019, I never finished well, I finished it, but let's say I had the idea to follow this collaboration with slime molds. So I get when I applied to foreign object, I was just with this interested. So when I started, I had the idea of asking questions to slime mold in order to get an idea on how produce or compose a sound piece. So I developed a series of questions, and the idea was to ask the slime mold in a really simple way, placing some of this Physarum Polycephalum, which is called this species of slime mold, in the center of the petri dish, and then putting this nutrition source, which are just oat flakes so it was really like a game, you know. The first oat flake that they arrive, and when I meet them at that particular time, and they are in that particular number, which here is 5, for example, I had these answers already, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this case, and more in other cases. So the first question, to just put an example, was how long should be the sound composition, no? And the answer was 4, but then it was 5 the next time I checked, so it was 4.5. No, it was 4 minutes and a half. And then the second, how many audio tracks in the project, you know? And the answer was 5, and so on. So it was a question of kind of like taking care of them in the studio, because they are really easy to take care of, but at the same time they have their own character, no? Because they can get dry. So it was a matter of am I really collaborating with them or using them, you know? And I was feeling really terrible when I didn't feed them for 2 days and they dried, but I know when they are dry, they are not dead, they are just sleeping, so I can wake them up again. So in this way, I was like, okay, let's do another thing, let's ask the cards. Let's ask a tarot. I was with this person that knows how to read the tarot cards, and the question was, do they really like what we are doing to them? In my case, what I am doing to them. And the answer was abstractly something related with they are still kind of curious about what you're doing with them. There is not a yes or not, but it was like more they're waiting what is gonna be, and this gave me a little bit of more quietness, because I wasn't like really like trying to explode them or so. Like, so in a way, in some of the answer was like, okay, they like what they're doing, but they are still curious if you're what's going to be afterwards, so it's not scientific at all, but still kind of gave me this artistic groove, to keep on the project. The last question was more mainly which sounds were going to be used in the composition, and because I would use I used a machine that has two electrodes, and you connect to beings, or like things that are alive, and with these two electrodes you measure the electrical resistance of this being and reproduces sound. It's commercially sold as MIDI sprout, but I found a open source version that I built myself, and so this is what I've used to produce the sound. And the sound is from a synth module, which is a Kawaii PHM, and has like 500 sounds. So the questions were, which sounds do you want to use for the composition, no? So the answer was red onions, Stravinsky, FX piano, nature horn, and sound effect, keep the ice. You have to be these questions were also really open, and the answers too. So I had a lot to do with the answer. For example, here the answers were 1, 2, 5, 6, 6. So I determined that the 1, 2, 5 was a number, and not 1, and not 2, and not 5, and not 12, and not 5. So so at the end of the day, I'm also part of the decisions made, So it's this kind of position where I'm trying to take 2 or 3 steps back as a composer, and bring the slide mode, the composition role, but we can't really communicate that with language, so it's just a matter of just trying to figure out. So at the end, well, this is the process, the petri dishes. Kind of like at the end, I understood how to make these are when they are alive, and then they go to a state which is called sclerotia, and I figure out how to do it. So now I don't feel that bad that I'm killing them. It's just they go to this sclerotia state where they are basically sleeping, and I successfully last week woke them up again. So seems they are really healthy. And for example, I have them here. And well, I could show you. This is a state called sclerotia, which is a darker shade. And this is dry, and seems like they're still alive in a way. So, well, just one thing to end my presentation. I'm mostly working with this MIDI sprout machine with electrodes with plants. And 2018, I was in contact with sound artist Myxomycete, and one of the questions that she told me, or one of the comments was, the difference is how we respect plants. So this type of project doesn't disparage, rightly so, the integrity of the idea and act as a gateway for us to claim rights to plants as objects to be exploited. So that was a really good point to take into consideration, because one can say, like, I'm going to collaborate this non-human being, but who tell us that it's really collaboration, or we're just exploiting them as repeating this idea of exploitation, and not like this horizontal ontology, so I think I'm going to leave it there, and then open for questions. And afterwards, I was trying before to show the sound piece, which is already finished, but I think I will upload it on the internet and post the link there afterwards. Thank you very much for your attention.